My name is Michael, or Mikhail in Russian, Michael Maschan, and I'm a deputy director of the Dmitry Rogachev Pediatric Cancer Center in Moscow. And I'm also an advisor to the National Genetic Initiative, which is a huge whole genome sequencing initiative in Russia. Thank you for the opportunity to a little bit talk about this, because you know that germline genetic variation is the basis of many non-communicable diseases, including cancer, when we have some disorders called cancer predisposition syndromes. And of course, it's the basis of a great number of so-called orphan disorders or rare disorders, which are not so rare because we have altogether, these are 10,000 different diseases. These are millions of patients altogether globally. So, in Russia, some years ago, we decided to move forward to provide whole genome sequencing as a platform approach to create a national database of genomes, and it was called National Genetic Initiative. And the plan was to sequence 100,000 genomes over 3 years, and it's been about, I think we just achieved that figure this week, or maybe last week. So we're celebrating now, finishing the acquisition of this huge data set. And these 100,000 genomes were actually divided into two parts. 70% was dedicated to what we called population genomics, so trying to create a database of ethnic representation of genomes of the Russian Federation, which is comprised, as you might know, of many nationalities, including some rare ethnic groups. And 30% was actually dedicated to patients with either genetic disorders or pediatric cancer patients or some other rare patient populations. So, and now we are working hard on interpreting the data we acquired during these 3 years, and it's already been giving some real important information, both for the patients but also from the population standpoint. Well, the general feeling from the medical part of the project is that whole genome sequencing will probably become the single most important test for diagnosing some predisposing conditions, but also for making decisions regarding drug therapy, regarding the screening approach for non-communicable disorders. So the hope is that the project will be extended next year into 1 million genomes. And the dream is maybe to start using, in some years, to start using this whole genome sequencing approach as a screening or kind of neonatal screening, like kind of baseline genomics. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime test which a human being will receive upon birth, and then we will use this information throughout his life or her life for the sake of. Oh, this would be great, absolutely. I think that for real science, or biomedical science, there should be no really borders, because what we just learned is that this communication and partnership between different organizations and different countries is crucial for developing new approaches for data analysis and for implementing And I think that from what I've just learned from colleagues in the audience, that pretty much similar bottlenecks we see in different countries, independent even of the income. Of course, the income of the country means a lot in terms of implementing new technology like genomic sequencing, but in the end the bottlenecks are the same. And if someone comes to a good solution to kind of solve the bottleneck, then probably it can be easily extended to other countries. So I think that it is the #1 priority.